Hi, in today's lesson, I am going to be teaching you some of the exponent rules. This is a common type of question that you will find in math team competitions. So let's first begin with the basic knowledge of exponents. All right. So if I take this number, for example, this is my base number. This is my base number. This is my exponent, all right? And whichever factor that I am multiplying by itself, so that's basically my power, okay? So this is basically my power. So this means I am going to take 1/2 and multiply by itself 5 times. 3, 4, 5, because that's basically what the exponent means. Okay, so 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, obviously that is going to be 1. All right, and then I have 2 times 2 4 times 2 8 times 2 16 times 2 32, so 1 over 32, and this is actually my answer for this exponent. Okay, let's look at this one. And this, there's a big difference between this and this, and children always make a mistake with this one, uh, thinking it is this. All right, so in the first one, as you can see, the -2 is within the parentheses, so that means I am multiplying -2 by itself, 4 times. That means -2 times -2 times -2 times -2. All right. And based on the multiplication rules, we know that negative times negative gives positive. And we've also spoken about in the past that if you have an even set of numbers, you will, if they're all negative, you will get a positive product. But if you have an odd number data set, then you are going to get a negative answer or negative product. Okay. So in this case, we know that -2 times -2 is going to give me +4 times, same thing here, -2 times -2 gives me +4. And so 4 times 4, my answer is going to be 16 for this one. All right. And then the last one that I wanted to go over with you really quick. This one, please do not write it as -2 times -2 times, because it's not -2 times -2. Okay. What this actually means, you have the negative sign, and then you have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right. So that gives me 16. All right, so this is 16, but I also have the negative sign in the front of that. So this is -16. So that is going to be -16. All right, so just wanted to like quickly do this review before we go into the exponential rules. Okay, so let's look at these rules over here. The first one that I'm looking at is the product of powers property. All right. So if I have 4 squared times 4 cubed, if I have numbers written out like this, to multiply powers with the same base, all right, you just add their exponents. You just add the exponents, okay? So in this case, we are adding exponents when they have the same base. Add exponents. And then here we have the same base. All right. So these are the two things to remember. And so that basically means I'm going to write 4, and I'm going to look at the power. So I'm going to add these exponents, which is 2 plus 3. So this actually means 4 to the 5th power. This actually means 4 to the 5th power. All right. And if I'm looking at it algebraically, see, we have the same base over here. So we have A, which is the base, and then my exponent is m plus n. So this is how you will find it written out. So when I have, again, once again, if I have, uh, if I'm multiplying powers with the same base, all I'm doing is adding the exponents. All right, we're going to go over some examples in a little bit on this. Okay, so let's look at the power of a power property. Power of a power property. So when I have a power of a power, all I do is multiply the exponents. Multiply the exponents. Okay, I multiply the exponents. So all I'm doing in this case, this is my base. All right, and this is 6 and 3, so I'm going to do 6 times 3, and so this is going to be 4 to the 18th power. Okay, so this becomes my answer. So when I have a power of a power, all I'm doing is I am multiplying the exponents. Okay, so same thing over here. This is the algebraic version, and all I'm doing is a m n. So I am multiplying those. All right. One other thing to really remember is when we are multiplying powers, please do not multiply the bases. It is not 4 times 4. So this is not 16 and to the 5th power. So do not do this. You are not multiplying the bases. All right. You are taking the base and you're adding the powers or you're multiplying the powers. So that's what I wanted to make sure that the common mistake is not made and you're not multiplying those bases. Okay. Now, let's look at this one when we have a power of a product property. In this, basically, to find a power of a product, you've got to find the power of each factor and multiply. Okay, so if I look at this one, uh, this 3 times 2 to the 5th power, you please, yeah, don't do 6 to the 5th power. Okay, in this case you have got to find the power of each factor and then multiply. So that means this is 3 to the 5th power times 2 to the 5th power. Okay, so you got to find the power of each of these and then you multiply. Okay, so same thing over here. I have ABM, so the algebraic version AM BM. All right, so that is basically your different powers, the exponent rules for multiplication. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at some of the division. Look at the division rule. Okay, so if I have a division rule, and I'm going to erase this because so this is a quotient of powers property. So quotient means division. And basically to divide powers with the same base, you are subtracting their exponents. Okay, so in this case, we are going to subtract exponents. All right, and then again, same thing like that, we have the same base. Okay, so when we have the same base, to divide powers with the same base, we are going to subtract their exponents. Okay, so this one basically means 4, and this is division. So we are going to subtract the exponents. This is to the 5th power, this is squared. So 4 to the 5th power minus this one. Okay, so I get 4 cubed, and this is what I'm going to be solving. All right, now if I have it written like this in the algebraic version, I'm going to write a m minus n. A m minus n. Okay, so let's do a couple of examples. so that you can see how these rules are relating to these properties that we've just done. Okay, so let's start with multiplication. And I'm going to give some examples. All right, just put this over here. 2 to the fourth power times 2 to the fifth power. Let me do this one. So this is multiplication, and we've got the same base, which is 2. And so if you look at that, if we have the same base, all we're doing is we are adding the exponents. All right. So this is going to be 2, 4 plus 5, which gives me 2 to the ninth power. And that is how I'm going to write it. Of course, if you are supposed to simplify, then you'll be doing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times, that way 9 times you're going to multiply the base by itself. Okay, so this is for the first one. Let me show you another one. Let's say I have -5 times -5 to the sixth power. Okay, so let's say I have this problem. Now, this basically means if I have a number written on its own, that means it's to the first power. Any number to the first power is the number itself, right? So this is actually -5 to the first power times -5 to the sixth power. Okay, or the exponent is 6, exponent is 1. So all I do in this is I put the base, which is going to be -5. All right, and I am going to take the exponents and add them. 1 plus 6, and so I get -5 to the seventh power. Okay, and so this is my answer, -5 to the seventh power. All right, so this is when we have problems like this. Let me give you another example. Let's say I have x cubed times, let's say I do x cubed times x to the seventh. All right, so if you're given something like this, all you're basically doing is, again, you are taking the common base, which is x, and I do 3 plus 7. I'm adding those exponents, and I get x is raised to the 10th power, x to the 10th power. Okay, so these are examples of the first property over there, product of powers property. Okay, let's try power of a power property next. So I'm going to erase this. And for power of a power property, let's say I have 3 to the fourth power. Okay, and I can raise this to the third power, or cubed. So in the power of a power property, look what it says, to multiply the exponents. Okay, so I'm going to do 3, 4 times 3. Okay, so this gives me 3, and 4 times 3 is 12. So 3 to the 12th power is my answer. Okay, and then let's do another one. If I have w to the fifth power, and this is raised to the fourth power. Again, once again, all I do is I take the w and I do 5 times 4, and my answer is w raised 5 times 4 is 20. So this would be my answer. Okay. All right. Next, let's do the one where we have the power of a product property. Power of a product property. Okay. So again, showing you some examples so that you understand how to solve these. Okay. So let's say my question is 2x cubed. All right, 2x cubed. So once again, look at this. We are, taking the exponent of each of the factors and then we multiply, right? So that's what we're going to do here. This actually means 2 cubed, all right? 2 cubed times x cubed. And we know that 2 cubed, this actually means 2 times 2 times 2 times x cubed. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So this is 8x cubed. This is 8x cubed. All right. We can try another one. If I give you 3xy squared. All right. So same thing. What we're going to do is 3 squared times x squared times y squared. All right. And when I do that, I know 3 times 3 is 9 times x squared times y squared. And so this becomes my answer. All right. So these are the multiplication properties. Let's quickly do a couple of problems on the division properties of the division property. All right. So again, when you have the same base, you are subtracting the exponent. So if I give you 2 to the 6th power over 2 to the 4th power, as you can see, my base is the same, which is 2. And so all I'm doing, I need to subtract. So I get 2, 6 minus 4. And I know that 6 minus 4 is 2. So I get 2 squared as my answer, which is actually 4. Okay, so here's one example of division. Let's say I give you another one, negative. Let me try to write it. All right, so let's say I give you negative 7 to the 9th power over negative 7 to the 3rd power, okay? Negative 7 to the 3rd power. So as you can see, the base number is the same, which is negative 7. And so all I'm going to do is subtract the exponents and I get negative 7. And I am going to have my exponents subtracted. So 9 minus 3. And therefore, my answer is going to be negative 7. 9 minus 3 is 6 to the 6th power. And then that is my final answer. Okay? And I'm going to do one more example. If I have a variable, h to the 7th power over h to the 6th power. All right. So again, take these and I am going to subtract. So I have h 7 minus 6. H 7 minus 6. All right. And that gives me h 7 minus 6 gives me h to the 1st power, because 7 minus 6 is 1, and anything to the 1st power is the number itself. So my answer is going to be h. All right. So these are just some examples that I wanted to show you so that you understand the exponent rules of multiplication and division, and hope this lesson has helped. All right. Have a great day, y'all.